radar technology is not new technology. We are just seeing new applications of radar technology. Radar technology in wind farm development and bird protection is something that has been happening, I think since 90s, Sibyl, something like that. We worked with that in the past, not in Croatia, but in Bosnia and Herzegovina, with different system. But what Robin did is something that changed the stage. It's an entirely different story, and I'm glad that you are all together today and that you can see that with us. But however, because since this is the only welcome speech on this conference, and I've got, not only in my name, to say some important things, I've got a written speech, and everything is under control, so I've got to go through this formal speech of mine. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. It's my great pleasure to see you all gathered here to an event that I believe is very important to all of us. The use of radar technology for tracking birds and bats as part of the development of wind farm projects. The organizers you are familiar with, so I will skip this part. So, on behalf of the organizers, I'd like to thank every one of you for the effort and time you dedicated to attending this event. Especially those who woke up very early today, and some people did, most of you, and drove long distance to here. We ordered some extra coffee for you. You've seen it in the lobby. So I hope this will energize you. We would also like to thank Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development for recognizing the importance of the event and for being the patron of the workshop. I wish to welcome Mr. Aljoša Duplić, Director of the Institute for Environment and Nature, Ms. Sanja Iver, Head of Sector for Energy Market Development Infrastructure, Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy Sources, and the other colleagues from Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development who are with us today. There are 8 people from the ministry today, so we welcome them all. We would also like to thank the Dutch Embassy for recognizing the event and to Ms. Andrea Kocian from Embassy for joining us here. Thank you, Andrea. So, what's in store for us today? Today we will hold presentations, demonstrations of radar operation, have active discussions about the use of radar technology, and have active discussions about the use integrated in research and monitoring of birds and bats as part of the development and operation function of new wind farms in Croatia and the region. We are very proud to have the opportunity to see MAX system performance developed by our partner Robin Radar, which is currently the best specialized ornithological radar system in the world. As you will see, radar technology can be applied in research and data collection needed for a quality assessment in pre-construction and post-construction nature monitoring schemes. And however, you can also apply this technology successfully in sensitivity mapping of individual species and groups like raptors and scavengers and even bats, and to analyze the cumulative impact of various development projects. To all of us who are in consulting business, these words mean something. To all of you that are expecting positive approvals from the ministry, these words should also mean something. These are big problems we are handling at the moment. So radar can help in all of those. In addition to wind farms, radar technology can also be used in the preparation of new high voltage transmission and distribution lines, also a hot topic in Croatia, solar power plants, and many other projects. Today, radar technology is successfully used in the world as a mitigation measure through which many problems of individual locations could be solved. Unfortunately, we have not yet witnessed the use of radars as a mitigation measure in Croatia, and we hope that soon enough we will use these advanced solutions here as well. We have tried to use radar about 11 or 12 years ago for development of wind power plant Fujine. We didn't succeed with that. There was maybe not the time for that. We think that now, technologically wise, time is right, and other people are using radar to help protect nature and produce energy at the same time, so we should be very serious about this opportunity. I use this opportunity to emphasize the following thoughts to all of you present today, starting with the developers and investors. This part of the speech is not directly related to radar, but I think it's very important because of this occasion and all the participants in the process here, and I think it's very important, so please let me say this. So I use this opportunity to emphasize the following thoughts to all of you present today, starting with the developers and investors in new green energy production facilities, through representatives of regulatory and supervisory bodies, to licensed environmental companies and specialized NGOs. Protecting our avian and bat fauna. At the moment, there is registered ambition at the Croatian transmission system operator for 14 gigawatts of new power plants, both wind and solar. On last conference, sunny days, was it translated sunny days? Right. On Hvar, we heard by the end of the year that it might be 15 gigawatts. That's a huge amount. The government has managed to reduce the grid connection bottleneck in the processing such a large number of applications with the new Electricity Market Act that came in power, 2 weeks ago? 3? Which will solve the problem at this place, but also result in rapid shift of the process bottleneck to the Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development with a large number of environmental procedures in the period between end of 2022 and during the whole of 2023. Simply speaking, we will have dozens and dozens of EIAs and main assessments going through the process, and these are very serious procedures. At the same time, a large number of ministries' own projects from the previous competitiveness and cohesion operational program period will be completed, and that will require significant time and energy of employees to process. So, for you in RES area, you might not be familiar with that, but people in the ministry are, and us consultants who work on both kinds of projects, it's all happening at the same time, and it's going to be complex. The pressure on the ministry and the work organization will be extremely high, which will result in a very long procedure implementation processes and jeopardize the achievement of individual and strategic development goals. Having this in mind, I must emphasize that the responsibility of developers and investors and authorized licensed environmental consulting companies is to come to the ministry with well-prepared projects and studies supported by well-designed research and high quality of data collected during the research period that provides sound foundation for bringing the best expert-based assessment in the studies so that the competent bodies can make decisions efficiently and with full confidence. If you didn't follow, we have to do work properly if we want ministry and committees to process that as quickly as possible, so that they are confident that what we brought to them is true and true. I am convinced we all will do everything possible to organizationally support the effective implementation of procedures. And in that sense, I would like to say that in addition to applying new technologies that can help us meet previous goals in terms of documentation quality, we as a profession must work seriously on development of new guidelines for large carnivores, mathematical adaptation of band model, collision risk model to Croatian conditions, and to begin to operationally use adaptive environmental management that has been legally available to us for a long time but hasn't been utilized by now. These three subjects we discussed officially and unofficially on a number of occasions. I think the time is ripe for that. They are not simple things. Adapting BANT model to creation conditions is not a simple mathematical operation. It requires a lot of data, but what BANT model does, it doesn't predict properly collision risks. And because that's the only model that is officially accepted, we are having problems with our predictions, so we need to make changes. It's similar with large carnivores. Large carnivores methodology needs to be improved, and that mechanism, which is one of the basic mechanisms in environment protection, adaptive environmental management, will relax decision making if we start using it. At the beginning it will look like more complex, but in the end it is much better system. Let us not forget that here declared renewable energy resources ambition of 14 gigawatts of Republic of Croatia is very good news that will enable Croatia to become energy independent, climate impact neutral, politically important economy with clean and approachable energy available to all users. With these words, I would like to end my word of welcome and wish everyone a pleasant and inspiring day on our beautiful Brijuni Islands. I am convinced that we will all return home full of impressions and ideas, which was our intention in the first place. So, welcome again.